I learned something about you the other day that we have in common.
Oh, what is it?
Yeah, we both worked in clubs.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, did you worked in a club? You were a club promoter. I have to ask about it. And the only reason why I ask...
I didn't know that we were doing gotcha journalism here. Okay.
Gotcha.
I didn't realize.
It's because I was a door girl. I'm revealing something about myself.
Oh, you were?
Yes.
Wait, where?
On Hollywood Boulevard.
Which one?
Playhouse, but this is like back in the... Shut up. I still think you're young.
I'm 33 years old.
Okay, yeah.
I never promoted in Los Angeles, but I was friends with a lot of promoters in Los Angeles when I first moved out here.
Yeah.
Because I really like drinking, and that's how you get drinks for free. Especially when you're a broke, like 20-something-year-old, and you want to go out and you want to party. You're like, oh my god, I want to see celebrities and all this stuff. Like those people in nightlife are your entry point into that world, so you can go and party. And be sinful, I guess. We're talking about such haram concepts on Ramadan. It's messed up. But yeah.
I mean, listen, it's early in the morning.
Yeah.
But when I found that out, I was like, okay, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like, not in a disrespectful way, but I feel like you're social, you like having conversations with people. Like for you to have that, I guess it wasn't a career, it was probably like a passing blip.
It wasn't a career at all. It was just like when I was in college, I wanted to go to clubs.
Yeah.
And that's the way to do it.
Well, I mean, that was kind of what I was doing. My friends owned clubs, and I was kind of bored. And the guy who was doing the door was like a big doorman. He did the door in New York at a bunch of places, in Miami. And he was like, you're coming with me. And so I did the door at a club.
I might have, like, what years were you at the door at Playhouse?
When we opened, 2010, 11?
I came to LA in 2013.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you were past my time. I lived in Australia then. So.
Yeah. Oh, wow. It's beautiful. Australia is nice.
It was amazing. It was awesome.
That's cool. I have a couple of really good friends that live out there. I go visit them sometimes.
I lived on the Gold Coast. It was fun. Very surfer. But I was getting my master's degree, so very different.
What were you getting a master's in? International
Relations and Diplomacy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun.
That also does track. Palestinians are some of the most educated people on the planet.
Ding, ding, ding.
It's just like has the highest per capita educational attainment in spite of everything that's going on.
100%. And one of the highest literacy rates in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. So what we do, one of the first things that we do with like everyone is there's a little machine next to you. Those are called the seeds.
Yeah.
And so if you spin it, one of those things is going to pop out.
Yeah, I know how one of these things work.
And it's kind of based on something I do with my stepdaughter and my fiance. I don't know what's in there. So
you want me to pop it open?
Yeah, pop it open
and then read it out loud.
Uh-huh.
Damn, this is like this is cool. It's like a fortune cookie.
Yeah, it's fun.
Arm wrestle.
Oh,
wait,
really?
What?
Yes, we're gonna arm wrestle.
Okay.
Can we? Are you down? I mean, you're gonna beat the shit out of me.
I'm down to do it.
Okay, we're gonna arm wrestle.
This. All right.
Okay, let's. I didn't even know that was in there.
They're gonna have to probably move the cameras again.
Nope, we're good.
We're good. That wide shot's gonna be good.
Yep.
All right.
Let's arm wrestle. This is gonna be fun.
Okay.
I'm so excited. I'm actually very happy that this is the one that you got. Okay, let's go. I'm going with my right.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm right-handed. I'm right-handed
you're
as
gonna
well.
kick my ass. Okay.
All right, let's go.
Okay. Go. Oh, don't be nice to me.
No.
You're being so nice.
No.
Kick my ass.
No, she's cooking me. She's cooking me. I swear. She's
This is so ridiculous.
Oh my god.
We all know you work out so much.
Oh.
Okay, come on.
What? She's actually has a sleeper build.
Okay.
She has a sleeper build. You want to put those back in the same spot that they were at?
Is this an OCD thing?
No. I do live production every day.
Yeah,
so I just want to make sure that the shot looks good. You got the Mazan scene.
That's really nice.
This is a very well-decorated podcast studio. This is really good.
Thank you. Yeah, it's reflective of like my inner self.
Yeah, I mean, you got the watermelons, you got the olives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's very much me, cozy.
You got the watermelon sour gummies as well.
Oh, yeah. You can have one if you want.
And then, no, I'm good.
Yeah, and I've got some trauma and recovery books.
Yeah.
Some Palestine books. Just like a little bit about me. Who is Hasan Piker.
Okay. I'm a live streamer. I am a political commentator. I live stream on Twitch every day. It's basically like Zoomer radio. Mm-hmm. People just have me on in the background throughout their day while they're at work inside of one ear or when they're doing chores at the house or whatever. And I talk about politics from a left position. I'm a leftist. And that's pretty much it, really. I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot going on other than the fact that I live stream 7 days a week, every single day from 11 a.m. Pacific time till usually 8 to 9 p.m. Pacific time.
Every day.
Every day, yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Sometimes I take time off to do other things that I have been putting off for like months on end.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll take Sundays off.
Yeah.
To do my other podcast.
Is that how you like define yourself to yourself, or is that like your bio?
That's how I define myself to myself, for sure. And that's what my bio is too. Like I see myself as like a regular dude who got unimaginably lucky, and I tried to do my very best to use that luck for good.
Do you think it's luck? Like, truly, do you think it's luck?
Yeah. I think hard work plays a big role in this for sure. But yeah, of course it's luck.
Yeah.
You know?
Like right place, right time, or?
Not even necessarily right place, right time, but like, you know, the family I was born into.
Okay.
The education that I was able to get initially. Not having any significant medical problems growing up. Not having significant family issues growing up. I think these are all major factors that play an invisible role in success, and they're all determined by probability. It's all luck.
Yeah.
I will never act like that doesn't play a major role in people's success.
I'm a millennial. Twitch was like a total like nightmare to me when I saw it the first time. It scared the shit out of me. I saw it and I was like, I felt like I understood why like Gen Z has ADHD. It was so intense. Like, I don't know, how do you deal with all of that happening?
Stimuli?
Yeah. Like,
I love it.
It's good for you. Like, it feels good for you.
Yeah.
And you got on doing gaming, or?
I started off playing video games because I was at the Young Turks.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm already playing Fortnite. I might as well like strap a camera onto this PlayStation and start live streaming. Because at the time I was playing Fortnite with my friends who are, who I still have as frequent guests on my stream anyway. Like Noah Colwyn, who was the senior editor at the Jewish Currents at the time, and crazy. Felix Biederman at Chapo Trap House, and like all these people that I was like, ironically enough, talking to about like Israel, Palestine related things and, you know, politics in general. And I was like, why not just, you know, play Fortnite while doing that? And that's how I initially started. And then I just like slowly upgraded. Yeah. Resisting these upgrades every step of the way. People were like, you got to get on a desktop. And at first I moved my PlayStation to a desk so I was closer so I could speak clearly. Then I finally got a PC. I was doing it from my MacBook, which is very difficult to stream out of a MacBook. Then I was doing it from a PC. And then I just like slowly but surely elevated the production year over year. And in the process, I went from doing this as a part-time thing. Yeah. And I would say that like 2019 was definitely the peak where I had a full-time job at the Young Turks. Yeah. So I would work from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Young Turks, where I was like making my videos, writing, giving notes to the editor, doing production work and posting and publishing. And then after 2 p.m., from 3 p.m. onwards until late into the night, I was streaming.
That's crazy.
And 2020 is when I went full time. 2019, I think I was like, what, mid-20s?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm curious about is like, you're streaming almost every day. What does like a day look like for you if you have 8 hours of your day online? And I know I've watched some of it, but I've never watched obviously a full 8 hours because that's insane for me. I feel like, how does that go? What does like your day look like when you're waking up, and then I guess you get on like pretty early in the day and you're there all night?
So I wake up at 6 a.m. every day. I immediately start reading. I immediately start taking notes. Yeah. I immediately start like fleshing out a skeleton for the daily run of show. While I'm doing that, I also take care of my dog, take her out to the park or go work out. I train 4 times a week with trainers in the backyard of one of their parents' house. If I'm not doing that, I'm usually playing basketball, taking my dog out to the park. I try to like do some daily grass touching so that I am, a little bit grounded. And then after that, shower, get ready, start at 11. And then from 11 onwards, it's just all go, go, go. I'm just streaming. And then I ended at 8. After that, I usually just like watch some TV shows or hang out with family, friends, and go to sleep at a reasonable hour and then do it all again every day.
So like every day is work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
but it's not.
It's not.
It's work, but it's very fulfilling. It like a lot of people, myself included, worked normal jobs or even abnormal jobs and worked for other people. And in my experience, like having the freedom to be able to dictate your own hours is
no, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I get to do that too. And I think it's one of the best things about what I do.
Yeah.
But I also think like I have the ability because there's not like a set amount of time that I'm doing that work that I can kind of move around and have like a social life. How do you even have a social life?
I don't.
You don't. Yeah. And I don't really either. I think that that's like important. I feel like people don't understand that like when you're in that position that you don't really get to have much, or is like you have people that are your friends that you get to hang out with on your Twitch.
Exactly. There's that. I travel with friends. Yeah. I go around.
You were just in Japan, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I was in Japan for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's actually a great example. Like I went with my podcast co-hosts who are very close friends of mine, like my best friend of 15 years at this point. He's also a Twitch streamer. Like I got him on Twitch when I got on Twitch as well. We have a podcast together and we have some other co-hosts as well who we're also very close with. And we will sometimes go and travel. So when I went to Japan, the time zone difference is crazy. It's like 17 hours ahead. So I had to wake up at 4 a.m. every day and do like my regular news coverage from my hotel room because I have a setup that I bring everywhere with me. It's a Pelican backpack that is a remote desktop setup. So everywhere I go around the world, whether it be the DNC that I took my backpack to, or whether it be Tokyo, I can basically stream
from anywhere
with the same quality that I have at my home setup. I brought that there. So every morning I woke up at 4, read a little bit, and then started live streaming at 5 so that it was like, I guess, 12 p.m. here or 1 p.m.
insanity.
Here. Yeah.
I mean, does it feel insane to you at any point? Because like hearing it sounds insane. To me, and I'm a person who is also like an avid workaholic. I probably have 40 different things going on at one time. I'm writing 2 books right now. I have a podcast. I'm a creative director. I'm also doing a lot, but that sounds like so overwhelming.
The craziest aspect is I don't have an assistant. I do everything, like basically everything, which is I have a management team that, will help with the scheduling a little bit. I am communicating with everyone
That's
at all times.
That's what I think is crazy too.
Yeah.
Like the amount that you're doing and that you don't have an assistant and that you don't really have anyone helping you is like wild. I mean, there's like 5 people working on this podcast right now and you do this every day and there's no one doing it with you. Like you don't have anyone who's finding this information that you're talking about besides you.
No, just me.
I'm
tapped in at all points.
That's
throughout
amazing.
The day. It's probably not good, but it's probably not good for my mental health. But like I said, in spite of everything, I find that this is tremendously fulfilling. Like I know how fortunate I am. And that's why I try to do good to the best of my ability.
I mean, you have done a lot of good.
Resources that I have.
You are constantly raising money. Actually, I brought you a basketball.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's not inflated. I also didn't want to inflate it because I didn't want you to think I like just brought it from my house.
No. It's fine.
It's a Knafeh basketball.
This is amazing.
I know you have played a lot of basketball. So
I do. I love basketball.
I thought I would bring you a Knafeh basketball.
This is sick.
It's in conjunction with some Gazans on the ground. So I thought,
hell yeah,
you should have that. So next time you play some basketball, you can play it with that. I have like a speed round of questions because I had a lot of questions and I felt like you could just answer them quickly.
Let's do it.
If you could force one person to stream with you for an entire week, who would it be?
Ooh.
Like
anyone? Anyone on the planet?
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I should answer seriously or jokingly.
However you want.
That's an interesting question. Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Stuck in a house with Donald Trump.
For a week. That would be interesting. I feel like you would get a lot out of him.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would want to be there, but I don't know if I would definitely tune in. If Twitch banned political content overnight, what new career path would you take?
This is a question that people ask all the time.
Really?
Yeah. First of all, the real answer is...
And now I'm mad that that's a question that you get asked all the time.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect your question.
No, you didn't disrespect. I'm just saying I want to ask you stuff that people haven't asked.
Yeah. Twitch has taken some censorious actions in the past.
I'm sure.
They've worked alongside the ADL because they were getting a lot of outside pressure.
Oh, interesting.
They've done right by me for the most part, I think, in terms of like what my expectation is from a major company under the Amazon umbrella.
Yeah.
This is something I've thought about. First of all, I would just keep doing this.
Yeah.
And
in a different way.
In a different format. I'd go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right. But if political commentary was just like impossible to do at a certain point, I think I would. But if I were to stay on Twitch and stream, then I would just do like regular culture lifestyle shit.
Yeah.
Like that's what I do on top of my regular commentary anyway.
Yeah.
Memes,
I know.
Advice, lifestyle advice, playing video games, working out.
Thirst traps.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I would do. I'd just be a thirst trap guy.
I mean, I think you would do well at it. It's definitely something you do on the reg.
Yeah.
What's the worst political take you've ever heard?
The worst political take I've ever heard? Oh my God, I hear bad political takes professionally. Oof, there's a lot. There is so much. I mean, people saying Donald Trump's a peaceful dove is pretty bad.
That's a good one. I've never heard that one, actually.
Donald Trump said it. He was like, I'm a dove. I'm a peaceful dove. I'm the peace candidate.
From other people. Oh, the peace candidate. Yes.
Yeah,
okay, for sure. Like the non-war candidate. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, the Democrats definitely made it hard for Donald Trump to not come across like a peaceful dove in that regard, because Kamala was running around saying, I'm going to have the most lethal military fighting force. And, they were just so invested in making sure that Israel gets to kill more children. It was crazy. But it's the worst political take I've ever heard. I think the thing that I hear most frequently nowadays that just makes me lose my mind above all else is the people that still to this day defend Elon Musk as like a brilliant innovator.
Yeah, that one is crazy. I mean, I think people forget that he basically bought everything.
I think that the system that we exist under has created this like weird self-justifying propaganda apparatus where it's like, oh, well, he's in a position of power. He deserves it. Of course.
Yes.
If he's a dumbass,
it's meritocracy.
Then everything is broken, right? Like, so instead of looking at the structure that we exist under critically, people just would rather maintain this illusion that Elon Musk is brilliant and he's a super hardworking guy and he's a genius and he's a savant and not just like a bumbling moron. Yeah, a bumbling moron who was able to basically fail upwards over and over again. And once you have established like the upfront capital, once you get to a certain level of wealth, like, you can tack yourself on to projects and be able to continue succeeding.
Do you think Donald and Elon have that in common?
I think a lot of rich people have that in common. That and being
not a hot
sociopathic.
take. Definitely a totally spot on take. What's a completely ridiculous hill you're willing to die on?
There's a lot of ridiculous hills I've died on over and over again.
What's maybe your favorite one?
I'm having a hard time balancing. Like, should I talk about politics or not?
You don't have to talk about politics.
No.
But you can.
What's a ridiculous hill for me to die on? A couple that really frustrate at least my fans is I think room temperature Gatorade tastes better than cold Gatorade.
Okay.
That's one.
Explain that.
People get very upset, but I think Gatorade tastes better when it's like room temp.
Okay.
Like a little bit. Like it's not, when it's iced or when it's cold, it sucks.
That is a completely ridiculous thing.
Okay. Sodas, carbonated beverages. I don't drink Diet Coke anymore, but back in the day, I used to be a big Diet Coke fan before BDS. And I could not stand drinking Diet Coke out of a glass with ice in it because I feel like the ice takes out all the carbonation and it dilutes it. So you got to either go straight from the bottle.
What about like at a movie theater when you get the
premix is different. That's the only one that's like, because I think premix is like so heavily carbonated anyway. But outside of that, like if you're getting Diet Coke in a can or in a bottle, when you go to a restaurant and the waiter immediately will, try to dump it in the glass with full of ice. I'm like, no, don't do that. I can't.
Yes.
And it's not just Diet Coke. It's like every soda, carbonated beverages in general.
Don't drink Coke, kids.
Yeah.
BDS. Who is the randomest, most unexpected person to ever slide in your DMs?
Ooh. Oh, that's interesting.
I mean, it could be just like, it doesn't need to be like sexy slide into your DMs.
Yeah. No, I mean...
I'm sure those exist.
I'm at the intersection of that, basically.
Yes.
Like
you're making politics sexy.
There are definitely like people that you wouldn't expect that have a political opinion that slide into my DMs, and sometimes they are sliding in that context, which I find interesting. Let me think. I mean, Frank Ocean was the person who was following me. And when I found out he was following me, I was like, oh shit, like this is sick.
Yeah.
Many, many years prior. And then he unfollowed me after I sent him a DM because he was posting about Corbyn during the elections like many, many years ago.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, oh, King Jezza. That's what I did. I replied to him and said, King Jezza, nice. No response. And then he unfollowed me later. So I don't know when he did that, but that was the most unexpected. I wonder what you did. It was the most unexpected follower I had.
It's always interesting to try to figure out what made someone unfollow you.
Yeah.
Because I've had the same experience. What's the most unhinged conspiracy that you wish were true?
The most unhinged conspiracy that I wish was true.
I love conspiracy theories.
Oh, me too.
And I think most of them are true.
I don't know if most of them are true, but maybe flat Earth. I wish the Earth was flat. It'd be cool.
Oh, that you wish were true. That he's not a flat earther.
No, I'm not. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not.
Good. Thank God.
But other than that,
I was
like there are so many conspiracy theories. Like I mean, yeah, I wish that like we were the aliens built the pyramids. You know what I mean? And then like that's real. And then all of a sudden,
I think that's highly possible.
Oh my God, I don't believe that. But I wish it was true.
How else did it happen?
I don't know, human ingenuity. Like we've done a lot. See, this is kind of a conspiracy, but I do think that yes, like we had a lot. We've lost a lot of technological development. Not to say that like people lived in skyscrapers or had like electricity or whatever, but I think that like there's a lot of tech such as that.
Do you feel like it was lost or because it was colonized, basically? Like because people came in? Yeah,
for sure. And then also, obviously, the financial incentives now make it so that that's too costly of an endeavor. Yeah. So there's no reason to do it. That's like true. We make stuff to break all the time because it's just, it benefits the GDP.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Timu. If you got to add one rule or law or amendment to the Constitution, what would it be?
I've never gotten this question before. This is a good one. Most of them I haven't thought about. And now I wish I did. So I had a better answer.
I don't want you to have a better answer. I don't want you to be like composed. I want to hear your real take.
No. A better answer in the sense that like it's like funnier and more intelligent. What would be the constitutional amendment? I think I would make it illegal to put profit over people. I would just straight up be like, no, it's illegal. You can't. You have to care about people more than you care about profit.
How would that be enforced? Because I feel like it would be hard to be enforced. I mean, listen, a lot of constitutional laws are hard to...
No, I have a lot of thoughts on this. Don't worry.
Okay.
I mean, Maybe a dictatorship of the proletariat would be a self-enforcing mechanism.
Okay,
in that
hot
regard.
take.
Yeah.
The Seeds is available on Watermelon Plus, the home of stories that matter. Watermelon Plus is home to award-winning cinema from Palestine and beyond, the kind of stories that you can't find anywhere else. One of my favorite hidden gems is Miles from Nowhere. It's a hilarious comedy about a Muslim Kiwi. It's funny, romantic, and I watched the whole thing in one sitting. If we want to shift culture and change the way stories are told, we need to build our own power. If you believe in what I'm doing with Watermelon Pictures, the best way to support us is to subscribe today. Preserve the past, fuel the future with Watermelon Plus. What's the most embarrassing thing you've ever ranted about on stream?
So many things. Oof.
Like if you could just hit erase on one of them and that one would be gone.
Hit erase on it. I talked about when I was a very, very young boy, like 12. We were revealing like the craziest things we've done in terms of when your hormones are out of control. And I talked about humping a basketball.
Oh my God. Well, I gave you a basketball.
Yeah, which is funny because you gave me a basketball and I play basketball and I have a lot of basketball. So now everybody always says everybody's like, oh, you fucked a basketball. I didn't fuck the basketball. I was 12. Okay. And also now I seem too defensive as though I'm doing that.
Yeah, right.
But it's I had my clothes on. It's
giving American Pie.
I had my clothes on. Okay. I was a child. But I would have erased that from the record, and now we're relitigating it.
I mean, you're giving politics for the girls and gays.
Yeah.
And I feel like...
But it's interesting because most of my audience is still straight white men.
I was just going to ask. Yeah. Well, okay. I guess that's not that interesting, though. I feel like that's exactly where you are positioned. And it's kind of an interesting thing for me because I feel like in the grand scheme of things, the other comps to you are all like right-wing bros.
I think straight white men just dominate the podcast audience in general. But I do have a much larger percentage of queer followers and female followers than any other podcaster, any other male podcaster especially, which is why I think you see comments like that. Even though, the space is still flooded mostly with white
But I
dudes.
feel like you're kind of giving them what they want.
Yeah.
The workout stuff, your fits, is that just you being you, or are you
No, it's me being me.
Yeah, you're not pandering to your audience.
No, that's just things that I like. I like fashion. I like working out. Yeah. I want people in my community and my audience to also get invested in developing themselves and being healthy. So the initial reasons as to why I started posting my workouts and whatnot were for both accountability, but also so that I can get people, I can influence people to go out and work out and be healthy in that regard.
That's so much more wholesome than I
but it
laid it out to be.
And it has worked. There are so many people in my community that have gone on their own personal fitness journeys and achieved whatever goals they've set for themselves. So that's the original reason for why I do it.
That's
but then
so sweet.
But then if people are horny on top of that, then yeah, sure, great. I'd rather read comments like that than the million different death threats that I get on a daily basis. You know what I mean? So that's fine. They flood the market with.
Do you think you've gotten more of those when you started having the conversation around Palestine?
I've been a pretty outspoken advocate for Palestinian emancipation for my entire professional media career. So it spans across 10 plus years at this point. But certainly I think in times whenever I go on, whenever I say something that goes on Fox News, I definitely get a lot of death threats. Yeah. And I would for sure say that post October 7, it ramped up a millionfold. I mean, I still do. I get probably 100 actionable death threats a day. I don't really do anything about it because it's nothing at the end of the day. But yeah,
hi, we are part of a an elite club of people who get actionable death threats on a daily basis.
But to be fair, I think now especially, that's just how the internet is. Like, it's gotten to a point where like I had to deal with this stuff as a outspoken leftist political commentator in a very hostile media environment for a decade. And now I think like average people are getting death threats.
Yeah,
now.
that's true.
Like, it's crazy.
No, I mean, people that I know who have like minimal followings, who really aren't doing much on the internet are talking about how, the trolling has, ramped up in a real way.
We've become significantly more ruthless.
Yeah.
And I think that like Elon's purchase of Twitter played a role in that as well, where he's just like unshackled the untapped potential for brutality.
I just think what's interesting though is like people have this tendency to like, they blame Donald Trump when he became president, that he unleashed racism, that Elon, when he purchased, Twitter, that he unleashed racism. And I think it's also kind of important to have the conversation around it existed because these people are talking about it. They didn't unleash it. They just allowed platforms for it and I guess people to feel more safe to say it.
Yeah, exactly. But that does, I think, play a role in making other people more comfortable saying that sort of thing. Like it creates a permission structure for it. And when you have a permission structure for it, it is very alluring.
Yeah.
People start moving in that direction because we respond to stimuli at the end of the day, and social conditioning is how we develop our attitudes, our consciousness. And if you're a young man, for example, and you see like unrestrained Nazi propaganda on the timeline, like up and down, you're going to look at that and go, okay, so this is not like a bad idea.
Yeah.
There's a sense of community here. There's a sense of shared interest here. I'm going to do it as well. Ooh, I'm being bad. And then before you know it, you're like, you believe it.
Do you feel like you're kind of the counterpoint to that?
Because yeah.
I would say from an outsider perspective, you are. You're kind of touching on all the points as far as like being in the manosphere, the like brosphere, as far as like, your look, your feel. Like, I think it's kind of interesting because I know you get a lot of flack because you're kind of anti-capitalist, you're left-leaning, and you have this ostensibly like, capitalistic life. You have like a nice car, a nice house, and, nice things.
Yeah.
What kind of would you say to that? Because I get the same flack as well.
I mean, I have a couple responses to that, but the most...
You can say the meanest one. I was gonna...
No. The most common one is like, this comes from a place of misunderstanding, right? I think that a lot of people don't understand socialism, what it means to be a socialist, what it means to be anti-capitalist at all. And they just associate socialism with poverty when that's not the case.
True.
Deng Xiaoping, he didn't actually say this quote, but it's attributed to him where he says, socialism is not to be poor, to be rich is glorious. He didn't say that technically, but there is a kernel of truth in that assessment, which is that socialism is not necessarily about making sure that everyone is poor. That is a misinformation. That is propaganda. That's just to say socialism bad, you have to be poor. It's all about being poor. I mean, Engels owned a factory. And most revolutionary figures throughout time and activists in general, like historically revolutionary activist figures, have always come from backgrounds where they have the freedom to be able to pursue their academic interests and their philosophical interests, like and be able to write on these things, be able to become leaders of movements such as this one. Che Guevara was from an affluent family, and so was Fidel Castro, as a matter of fact. This is a very common misunderstanding that, like, oh, if you're rich, that means you're a hypocrite. It's like, I had these points, I had this perspective when I was broke. Yeah. Because when I was post-college, I was broke as hell. Mm-hmm. Like, I lived in the kitchen of a frat house in Los Angeles. I didn't have... I was driving a hand-me-down from like 1991, like a Pontiac Grand Am with no registration on it. And I had the exact same opinions back then as I do now. And so I always find it strange when people say that, because I'm like, what do you want me to do? Start advocating for my class interest that you perceive that I should be saying like, yeah, actually, now that I got this money, this socialism shit is over. Peace. You know what I mean? I try to do my very best every day with all of the resources that I have, and I put it to good use. So there is that. But on top of that, yes, I do. I like fashion. I'll buy a nice car. I'll lease a nice car.
Yeah.
Like, for sure. That's definitely, I make silly purchases like that. But then again, who doesn't?
Yeah.
Everybody does in their own personal finances. Everybody every now and then engages in like lavish expenses. I certainly did when I was broke.
Yeah.
You know, there's been moments where I bought something and I was like, this is really breaking the bank.
We live in a capitalistic hellscape, and what are we supposed to do? Like, drown?
Yeah. Also, that's the other thing. Like, I want people to be able to have disposable income and freedom. More importantly, I want people to be able to have autonomy so that they can purchase stupid shit if they want to. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's also kind of a product of this like American exceptionalism, like not understanding that there are other places that where people do have, you know, all of the benefits that come from the societies that are giving back to their people, and disposable income and wealth, and you know.
This is also something that I've personally experienced. Like when I was broke and advocating for socialism, they were like, oh, you're jealous of rich people. And now that I'm financially successful and I still advocate for socialism, now they're like, oh, you're a hypocrite.
Yeah.
So I think the common factor there is advocacy for socialism. And it's just people don't want that.
Yes.
And it's interesting because, especially in my current position now, when I advocate for it, the people that are yelling at me more often than not are not beneficiaries of the current system. They literally are getting dominated by the current system, while simultaneously they come in and yell at me because I'm like, you should get healthcare.
Yeah.
Like, you should have more control over your workspace. You should be able to unionize and make decisions. You should get better benefits from your job. You should have a say in how profits get distributed, and people are like, no, I don't want that.
Yeah, isn't that such a weird like concept that when you're telling people, because I'm always saying the same very similar things, like why wouldn't people want people to have universal healthcare? I'm saying to you that the benefits that I have from my privilege, I would like you to also have.
Yeah. They do that because, like I said earlier with Elon Musk and like not recognizing his stupidity, it's easier, I think, to delude yourself into thinking that like everything is working and one day I'll make it. And if I don't make it, it's because I haven't tried hard enough.
Yeah.
Then to recognize that the system is like designed in this way where you not making it, not experiencing upward social mobility, and maybe even slowly experiencing a withering away of the amenities that previous generations had is a part of the process. And that, I think, is too scary a pill to swallow for many people. So they would rather uphold the system. And when someone comes in and makes a convincing argument that kind of breaks away from that illusion, they get scared, they get frustrated, they get angry, and then they lash out at the messenger.
Yeah, totally.
Rather than to critically examine the systems of hierarchy that they exist under.
Yeah. I mean, when I saw people being critical of you for that, I thought it was ridiculous. I've seen also how much money you've raised for charities.
But that's nothing. And also, I will say that it's good. It's healthy to be critical of rich people. I like that. So I always will maintain that position where it's like, listen,
I love
go
that.
ahead. No, it's good. It's a healthy thing to be critical of rich people in general. It's just funny that like most people don't carry that resentment towards like actually super wealthy and super powerful people, and only stick to like people that are accessible.
Yes.
Because it comes from a place of powerlessness where you're like, I don't have any power over Jeff Bezos. So I'm going to yell at this fucking douchebag Twitch streamer that will respond to my comment when I say I'm going to kill you, you know? And it's sad. And I totally understand where people are coming from, because if your life sucks and you see an asshole like me who's not that different than you in any meaningful capacity, but like I've made it, you know, you're like, well, fuck this guy.
So kind of on that theme, do you feel like you've made it? Like, do you feel like you're at the pinnacle kind of, or is there more to rise, more to do? Because I feel like
there's always more
yeah.
work. And I don't mean like there's always more, like there's always more fame to acquire or anything like that, or wealth. Or I care more about the politics of everything than I do about how, you know, my personal career has grown. I even associate my personal growth with the growth of the overarching political movement in this direction. So in that regard, I've been advocating for progressive values for the past 10 years. And unfortunately, things have not gotten better on any front. And as a matter of fact, things have gotten a lot worse. Like when we talk about abortion, for example, women's reproductive health, like that is now being actively undermined in the United States of America. Exactly. And so there's always so much more work to be done. So that's the way I see it. I think that struggle is basically endless.
This is maybe a little personal, but like, do you want a family? Do you want do you want to get married? Do you want to do all those things? Do you feel like you have the time for it?
I'll figure it out.
With all of the things that you're doing. People ask me that all the time. Yeah. And I feel like women get asked that question a lot, especially when they're really kind of high functioning workaholics. And I don't think men get asked that question enough. And so I felt like I wanted to ask you.
Yeah. No, I make time for, you know, personal things. So it's that's not an issue for me.
Yeah. Great. You're going to make it work.
Yeah, I'll make it work.
I know you will. Well, I think this was fun.
Yeah, this was great. Thank you.
I appreciate it. We're going to, if you are like down to like break your intermittent fast.
Yeah.
Will you have a bite of Knafeh? I heard that there's also like a Turkish version.
Yeah, there is.
When we taste this, I'm going to need you to tell me whether or not
always
the Palestinian version is better, because it is.
All right, we'll see. We'll see about that.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah. This is Knafeh from the Knafeh Queens.
This is
have you ever met Knafeh Queen?
No, I have not.
Yeah. Well, she makes amazing Knafeh. So
let's see.
Yeah. Saktain. It's good.
Oh my God.
It's good, right?
Oh, it's bomb.
Okay. You're willing to like have to do like an extra rep or two for this?
Yeah. No, for me, I judge like the Turkish versions.
What's the difference?
I don't think there is any.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said it's like really good.
The difference is the Palestinian one is just like inherently better.
I don't know about that. But yeah, this is amazing.
Thanks.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I had fun talking to you. The last thing that we're going to do is I just wanted to see if you would write a question or a thing or whatever for the seeds, little bubbles.
Okay.
And then
what kind of guests do you normally have?
All over the place.
The reason why I ask is like, you know, depending on the guests you have, I don't want to.
Oh, you're not going to offend anyone.
No, I'm going to put like, you know, donate $10,000 to like heal Palestine or something.
Maybe you should make it a more attainable.
Yeah. That's why I'm not going to do that.
I'm like, I love that, by the way. I think that's amazing. I'm curious, how much like total, do you know how much total you've donated to Palestine? Like through your millions, right?
Yeah. No, but I have no idea. But I think it's like, I mean, we did Creators for Palestine, and I think that raised like $2 million. I also raised like another $1.5.
Are there like specific families that you keep in touch with all the time?
I don't keep in touch with like specific families, but obviously I talk to people in Gaza. The ones I talk to are there's a journalist in North Gaza, Hossam, who was targeted by the IDF as well, and they falsely claimed he was a Palestinian Islamic Jihad sniper. Mm-hmm. Insane. So I mostly talk to journalists on the ground, and in terms of like families that are out there, I have Omar, who I talk to regularly, they do a day in the life in the war zone.
Yes, I love them. Yeah,
they're awesome. So
so write something down. Let's put it in there, and that way, someone can get your question or your prompt or whatever it is, and just sign it so they'll know who it came from. So you can't do this anonymously, and then maybe if you can read it out loud and tell people.
Yeah. Let's think. What can I?
Do you want something to write on here?
Yeah, I got a book right there. I'm gonna grab it in a second. Let's see.
That's also a really good book.
Time for Outrage by Stefan Hessel.
Yeah, I think he's passed. He was a Jewish Holocaust survivor who spoke about how Palestine was like an awakening for him. He was like, we're done with the conversation. We should be like moving with outrage. Yeah. Yeah. Really interesting book. My mom gave it to me.
Yeah. Big anti-Semite, I guess.
Just
like Einstein.
I heard you made it to the list, though.
Yeah, Stop Anti-Semitism made me number 2. I lost to Candace Owens.
I'm a little offended that I've never been on the list.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been called out, but I've not like made it to the top 5.
It's so stupid. Yeah. Oh, God.
Ridiculous.
That's the one thing, though. The thing is, like, I think a lot of people were completely oblivious to this stuff for a very long time.
Yes.
And then post-October 7, they were like, oh, my God. Like,
yes,
this is a state that is just straight up, doing the most unimaginable violence to a civilian population that is the belligerent occupier of, in direct violation of all international human rights.
Yep.
But then also on top of that, they just lie all the time.
Yep.
Like nonstop. Like the American government lies all the time. I bring this up regularly, right? They lied to invade Iraq. A very famous incident, right? But oh my God, the Israeli government just
blatantly
lies about
bold-faced,
the most minutia. It's just so insane. It's most of the Hasbro operations in the West is entirely comprised of like minor level lies as well. It's just like trying to cancel like a beloved actor or trying to quote unquote cancel your sister for being Palestinian.
Yes.
It's just so stupid. Anyway, let's think. I'm gonna make someone do push-ups.
Oh, do it. That's a great one. That's going to be fun. I hope they're not going to try to make me do push-ups with them. I do not have your workout regimen.
Do 15 push-ups with
Alana. No. You're going to say, I knew it. Damn, I shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah. Okay, that's perfect.
Thanks, sadist.
Yeah. It's not. It's good for you. I want to see you guys.
You're gonna tune in just to see what happens. There's I think one of the little balls is.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, the little seeds.
I'm gonna put it in there. Yeah.
Well, this was fun. I appreciate you coming out and doing it before your live stream. And
thank you for having me.
Yeah,
this was great.
Just easy peasy hangout. Yeah, drop it in. You can just lift the top. I think you have to pull.
Key.
I don't think it's locked. Yeah, there you go. Whoop! There it goes.
I want to shake it so it's like gets to the bottom.
Well, we'll mix it up before the next guest.
Okay.
You're like, I'm going to be patiently waiting for someone to do 15 push-ups. Yeah. I don't even know if I could. I mean, I can do them on my knees, but I don't think I can.
Whichever way.
Okay, cool. That was it. You're awesome. I appreciate you. I will try to tune in to Twitch whenever I'm feeling my like bout of ADHD.
All right, perfect.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right.
The end.